Right. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Phlox'em. We are back here with another deep dive episode with Xiang Rapid Castle Sage. Been loving this deck. I've yeah, been thinking about it since my last video. I haven't gotten to play with it much since then, so we're still kind of in that space of like we know the cards really well, know kind of a general game plan, but my last video especially, even as I was recording, I was kind of realizing there's so many more little sequencing and like card placement nuances, and then just kind of the all the little things, all of this small incremental value that we want to try and get out of this deck. So things like not actually using the Panpaka for skirmish on most of my creatures so that there's even a chance I can get some damage on my creatures with some fighting or whatever. And then I feel like the exhume and regrowth targets have always been kind of just like I always do what's good in the moment, and I think I really need to start working on a little bit longer term of a plan with those, because I think those are kind of they're going to be matchup dependent for sure, but those are the real strength of this deck is being able to handcraft so much, kind of using all of these weird recursion and bounce tools, and then the Igors, of course. I just feel like those last couple games I was kind of just playing things, and I want to try and do a little bit more planning. So things have been kind of slow on the queue today, so we'll see if we can get some games going. Day after Thanksgiving, so everybody's on their turkey comas, or if you're like me, a ham coma. We kind of went with the less traditional this time, but still good. Still super excited to have some time off and just get to kind of hang out and everything. So been fun. Been playing a little bit of Keyforge, not a ton. Um, there's the Archon, or sorry, the KFPL tournament tomorrow. I'm still not sure if I'm gonna do it or not. I was saying I don't really feel like I have decks that would be like Archon survival worthy at all. But maybe I'm being too hard on my collection. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Kind of still have a little bit of time to decide. They have several people have offered for me to borrow decks too. It's not my favorite. I know I've some of these tournaments have been kind of like that where you have to kind of use decks from specific collections or whatever. And since that was kind of the rules of the specific tournament, I was fine with it. But for something like Archon, I think I'd be served better just playing decks that I know a little bit better anyways. So we'll see. And now since while we're waiting, let's maybe just take a look at some of those options I have. Um, so you can see right there, I'm not even choosing decks from Call of the Archons or Dark Tidings. That's just kind of don't really have much in there that in either of those sets that would do a whole lot. Let's see. Let's just grab. No, shouldn't do it. So I've been trying to kind of I want to trim down my collection a little bit, and been trying to kind of decide which decks I really like and which ones I don't. So I kind of made this favorites tag, but I've been just test playing a lot of decks too, and we can kind of come back to some of that. But been test playing stuff, and a lot of them are not on that favorites list. So not quite sure what I'm gonna keep. Okay, so it's going to be Worlds Collide. Also looking at double Exhume, Hysteria, one Infernus, which I don't think Infernus is huge against this deck. What I'm more worried about is bouncing like the Edai or the Kirby, but not a ton of Amber Control outside of that. Looks like it's trying to do some similar stuff as mine, so probably just wants a big Star Alliance board, and I think we're fine letting him have that and then bouncing most of it. So, I mean, pretty tough not to try this. Again, this is kind of one of those high roll hands. We'll just see what happens. If the Torado survives, then we get off to quite the start here. Data Forge, Daughter. All right. I don't know if I should say something or not. It's just like it recorded. I didn't do anything. This is just TCO giving me a ridiculous hand, so we're just gonna go for it. We'll go ahead and play the Igor first. See what we find. Another Igor. Oh, I feel a little bad. Okay. I think Onyx Knight. We talked about Onyx Knight last time. It's just a very important card for this deck. Didn't draw any more logos. We did get another Igor here. And we'll take a... I think we want the Exhume. We already have a Hysteria. And we're going to hold on to that Eureka. I mean, all in all, we ended with 2 Amber, which is nothing crazy, and Soderkin probably gets... Oh, or Quintrino Flux will just wipe the entire board. That works. Okay. Exhume's the daughter, that's fine. We get some stuff going here. So this is where, sweet, they actually awarded the daughter, which is probably exactly what we wanted. Just thinking about Exhume targets here. We're gonna go Dis, because we want to get that, get all these guys killed with the Onyx Knight. Do I want to discard extra stuff? I don't think I really do. So we'll probably just hold the Yerk here. Problem is I don't have a good way of killing this daughter. Do I want to Exhume an Igor here? So this is where, like, I have so many options on these turns. I don't know what the best ones are. I think it's Exhume after Hysteria. Just gonna play the Yerk, discard that, this guy down, this guy down, and then we'll Exhume Sutterkin, Exhume the Igor. I think we want to hold. I'm not quite close to check yet. I'm probably going into Tame soon, so we're going to take the Persistence Hunting. So now, I mean, the Sutterkin is a lot less of a threat. It's not a threat at all if they just destroy it with a Draining Touch. Second Draining Touch probably to kill the Eater of the Dead. Yeah, so I can't purge stuff. Puzzle comes down, so this will be a Logos turn. Do they have any good information exchange, but no other scaling, so we're just going to go Logos, get that extra Amber. Okay, archive the Wormhole, of course. We are leaving them with a daughter for a little bit, which is not ideal, but it could leave their hand even more clogged when we finally Hysteria, which we're not doing this turn because they stealth moded. That's a shame. Okay, so we do get the Forge here. Honestly wondering if I should just go Dis and fight some of this stuff off. That stealth mode hurts a lot. Do they have 2 of those or just one? Just one. Okay. I really don't like that Val. No. Plasma Nodule. I think we are just going to actually kill the Chan here and Oops. It's not ideal, but they do have to have 2 creatures now, which they probably do in Logos here. Yeah, but I think with them kind of having to switch back into other houses, I don't know. Might be a terrible decision to not have killed the Val there, but I don't want them... Honestly, I don't want them bursting with Amber as much as they could just kind of get some cards played out. So, do have the Cloaking Dongle there. Let's see what we got in. Discard. Quintrino Flux looks okay. Stealth mode probably actually looks pretty solid here. So we're going to go Untamed. I don't think they're going to have a board left after this turn, so I'm not sure I need to take my archives yet. Yeah, because if we stealth mode, we're going to leave it. Oh, they have scientists. That curiosity is actually pretty good here. Let's do that. And then we will Nature's Call these three. Play Darna. Play Regrowth for Marmo Swarm because we can actually play it this turn. We probably do need to play Past and Furnace, so we're going to do both of these. We're going to hit the stealth mode and then Regrowth and Igor just to get us that little bit of cycle on the next turn. Buzzle, Eterome. Yeah, there's the Infernus. Probably hits Exhume, Eureka. Nature's Call. There's a lot of good targets in there. Exhume and Regrowth. Okay. Doesn't take me off the key, though. Not sure if that Mimicry is saving me here. Soulkeeper on the Infernus will kill. It won't be Marmo Swarm after we forge, but I don't think I'm going back into Untamed anyways. Discards the Exhume, so happy to make that go by. Not really worried about anything on their board, so I think we just kind of go here. We don't have a draw pile, so we're actually not going to get any value out of some of this stuff, so maybe I should have waited, but that's okay. Reap, and then go ahead and throw this down. And they didn't purge the Mimicry, and we just cycled, so we actually have some good stuff to come back into. Titan Guardian, Eddie, Hack, and then Information Exchange to steal one. Okay, got an archive there of a Cutthroat. So Logos feels pretty good, but Untamed is also looking pretty good to kill these scientists. Does kill mine. We could regrowth it though. Yeah, let's go Untamed. We are going to take the archives now. Let's do I want to fight? I don't think I really need to fight much. Play the Curiosity, kill that. We'll reap. Persistence for Dis. I don't think the pen pack is going to matter here, so we are just going to throw it on the side just in case. I think we just dealt with a lot of their Amber control anyways. I don't have a ton. This definitely looks like a deck that wants to race a little bit more. Got around their Hysteria. They might play that here. Because that would be able to, yeah. Will take me off check because they got plenty to hit with the Infernus. I think we're fine with that. We got pretty solid follow-up with Logos here. And they're still not in check, and we're not going to worry about killing this stuff, so. Eureka did not hit any Logos, so that feels pretty good. Play an Igor for... do I want the Titan mechanic here? I think I actually do. Just to kind of force the issue. Suttercan. Engineer. I don't think I would have played the Wild Wormhole because I guarantee it hits a Hysteria, which I don't think I actually want to do with that there, so we're just going to stop at this from reaping here, and I think we discard it. Probably not a huge deal if we hit it, but I don't want to give him that Infernus back. See what they can do here in Logos. Titan Guardian comes back down. their own Igor. Mini group kills the Sutterkin. Scientific hack. Good game. Yeah, definitely a very, very fast start there with the 4 logos, the Sutterkin with the rocket boots. No immediate answer. There's gonna be tough to come back from, especially with a deck that kind of, I don't know if I'd say it's super board reliant, but it definitely wants to race, and we just got to hit on that race. So cool. Fun one there. Gonna see if we can actually get this to 50% win rate. I doubt it. With everything that's going on, I feel like we're gonna see some pretty higher level decks. Maybe we'll even see some people practicing for this stuff tomorrow. Anyways, as far as Archon decks, I do have some high stats decks. I'm not gonna say like I have a bad collection, but Archon Survival especially, I don't think one that I know strategy for deck picking for Archon Survival. I've been learning a lot just about like deck picking for KFPL, because it's also not just like bring your high SAS decks or anything. But sorry, not KFPL, NKFL. There's too many abbreviations. They all have KF in them. But for like something like Archon Survival, I don't know if you should pick something that just does well into everything. That's kind of like an all-around deck, or if you want something that is really strong in certain matchups and then kind of bad in other matchups, because I feel like that's mostly what I have at the higher end. Like I have Tungsten, which is one of the ones that I might do a deep dive on. It's a really cool deck. 4th Arrow Centurion, Nero Taurus, double EP with double Daughter and Torado. Like it's a really cool deck. It's a pretty good deck. Super low on the Amber generation, so it just has matchups where it generates 0 keys, and that's my problem in NKFL. Is I've been playing it, and it has won a game, but the games that it loses, it gets like 0 keys, and so in NKFL, the key differential is actually really important. So it might be one that I drop just because of that. Connor can also be like that. This one is much more. It's really good into anything that is also not capturing. Because its only true like board control is these axioms. It does have the Gleeful Mayhem, but 3 axiom it relies on so heavily. So any kind of mass mutation with like lots of capture or worlds collide with like Saurian's Exalting, this deck just does nothing. Like it's actually so sad how little it does into those. So these are 2 words like I could bring them in the survival and just hope for good matchups. One bad matchup though, and they're done. Let's see. Okay, so we got a mass mutation here. I didn't think I hit enter afterwards, but double subject Kirby is gonna be brutal for our Hysterias. Double Infernus. Pale Stars, not a huge deal. No Mark is good to see. Painmail could be a little rough. Fang shouldn't be an issue. Lots of capture, which I'm not worried about. It's gonna be a tough matchup. I think we're gonna keep this since we've got the Eureka. I mean, we did not hit any logos either, so that feels pretty good. Really, I think we just need to kill the Infernus and the subject Kirby's and then start Hysteriaing. Yikes. Even this, though, I don't really want a Hysteria yet, so I think we're going to just go logos and kind of keep working here. Both Igors, that's pretty sad. Onyx Knight. Yeah, I think that card is just too important for this deck in the higher level matchups where Hysteria isn't enough. Onyx Knight, I think, is pretty vital. It does get me the kill on Garcia here. Luckily, that Antony comes down without much impact at all. Onyx Knight only kills one thing here, but I think it's still worth it. So Go Dis, and then we have this for the red alert next turn if we need it. Onyx Knight. Then we'll Hysteria. We're gonna hold on to the Exhume. Just there's not enough going on right now that we need it. Actually, we could hit the Igor here. Forgot we had discarded one of those, so let's do that. Sutterkin looks good. See if we can get a Logos board going since we got the Igors back in hand. I love this deck. It's just like being able to Hysteria 2 of these and then Exhume another one. It's just silly, right? Like, it's doing so much more than it should be able to. We do have the Infernus Purging and Exhume and the Eureka, which definitely hurts. We're low on creatures now, but so Red Alert is only doing 1 damage here, which is not great. So I think we're gonna go Logos and we're just gonna fight into the Kirby. They will, I'm sure, be able to kill this Sutterkin, but might as well give it a try regardless. Gonna force it. We're gonna take the Glimmer and the Nature's Call. Looks pretty good, and then we're gonna stop Star Alliance from reaping. It's not very fast on the Amber generation yet, but we are getting through the deck really fast, which will hopefully slow down that second Infernus. Pale Star. Yeah, fights the Sutterkin, then implodes the Director. Makes sense. Is this a Scientist? Nah, and these guys are not. Don't have damage on my creatures yet, though, so... That Implosion looks pretty nice for the Nature's Call, or the... If I want to play that yet, how fast am I going to get through this? I think I might need to hold on to that just so they can't Infernus it. I need to... That's one of the things I really need to watch with this, is the cycling. We're still not going to take the Archives. Let's grab... If we're going to get the Logos anyways, we might as well do it with the Regrowths. Sutterkin... Or sorry, the Igor, and then... I think the Director is honestly just better. Do I want to bounce these guys? Sure. That gets me a really fast cycle, right? But not this turn. We are at check. They don't have the Antony now. I'm sure they have plenty of Amber Control in Sanctum. Oh, or maybe not. Okay, caught him on kind of a rough hand, but again, we've bounced cards a couple of times in this deck already, so that's just the poke isn't doing much. It does get me a damage to use for... Oh man, these are like all my Logos cards left. Let's grab the Wild Wormhole. Let's actually play that first. To Exhume Sutterkin. Oh, it's just so silly. We'll grab the Persistence Hunting. We're just going to throw that on there. He's going to kill it anyways, but... Take him Armor Swarm, and then we're going to stop Sanctum Reaping. Okay, well... Red Alert's gone. That fights the Sutterkin. Plays a Survey. There's our second Kirby. Ambassador is good. We need to kill that. Okay. I don't think I want a Hysteria here. Kind of just need to gain Amber, right? So I might just go Logos. Let's just go Logos. And we're going to stop Star Alliance from reaping. Reap. Reap. We do want to fight. I guess Carrie could stand down anyways. We'll just slow down that Kirby. He played his own mutant, so the Baron on is turned off. I do want him to actually kill some of my own creatures at this point so that I can copy that red alert. Just kind of blow things up. Technofiend will steal from me. That's unfortunate. Blows up some amber. I mean, Cleansing Wave doesn't do a whole lot here. Do I just Hysteria this? This will blow that up. No, we'll go Untamed. Still don't need to take Archives. Persistence hunting for Star Alliance. This guy on the right, and then we'll Nature's Call him. Again, we're choosing some different houses there. I'm gonna get into check. I probably do. Let's go ahead and copy the Implosion to get rid of that Snurrat. Leaves it open for the Infernus, which will definitely hurt, but we do give him the key there too. Sorry, that was trying to go fast. I feel like opponent's playing fast. I feel bad just sitting here thinking through all these turns too super hard. But there's just so many options. We are asking them. Nature's Call and Glimmer. Okay, and then a second Infernus will take me off check. I'll get, yeah, Persistence Hunting and Mimicry. Hysteria here doesn't feel too great. Could get both my Darnas are not in my discard, unfortunately. And this guy does not kill the Infernus. Let's just go Logos. No. I'm gonna take this guy. Grab a Wild Wormhole. Move stun. Move stun. Move stun. Use this on Star Alliance. I guess an action, right? Yeah, let's go Star Alliance. Wild Wormhole. To regrowth Sudrican. Okay, going Star Alliance anyway is going to fight. This is great. They're putting damage on their creatures, so that Misery Exploit finally going to have some value. I don't love how mixed this is, but honestly, these are not a lot of cards that I need. Whoa! Huh. Politician, okay. So the question is, am I okay with bouncing the Infernus? I really don't love it. I really like bouncing the other stuff here. Let's give it one more turn. We'll kill one of these at least. We're going to discard this. We're going to regrowth an Igor. I'm not worried about, because we have the Darnas coming, I'm not worried about taking damage, so we are going to do this strategy. The problem is these guys are so small, so fighting with them, they're never going to actually take damage off of that kind of stuff. I think we're going to leave this alive unless he decides to kill it so that we can fight in here so we don't bounce that. But we are going to be okay bouncing second Infernus now. And all of this capture is not a problem. Stuns the Director is not a problem. Fights the Panpaka. Fights Igor. This is exactly what we want to see. Our board is getting smaller in preparation for this. Ooh, does have the Cleansing Wave. That hurts. That hurts a lot. Okay. I think we get a pretty solid burst here, though. So we're going to go Dis. We are going to take the Archives. We will Misery Exploit. Binding Irons. This is going to... Oh, we can't kill that now, so that's unfortunate. Do I want to kill anything else? Can't really kill anything else. Do we want to explode stuff? No, we'll just Reap. And we will Hysteria. We're not going to play the Onyx Knight here because we need that. Big zoom here. We'll do the Igor just to get more cycle going. And we'll discard Darna. The problem is, if he gets 3 Amber, we just lose, right? Plenty of things to hit with Infernus. Didn't play the Anthony there, which is pretty huge. He's Techno Fiend. Spectre. Captures 1. Ooh, the Waking Nightmare. That hurts a lot. I like Logos here because we can at least stop them from reaping. Oh. Well, not that these guys don't do that anyways, but don't have anything to draw, so that's not doing anything. Yeah, this just really doesn't even matter, right? Especially we're going to cycle anyways. I'm going to stop Dis. 2 Amber Pips and we're pretty much done, but we'd probably see the Anthony come down here, which I actually could kill now. Question is, do I re-hysteria all of this? Did give me an out on this by playing it on the flank, so I guess the answer is yes. Feels a little bad, but that's how this deck plays. So we're going to fight here. Do I want to kill the Infernus? Probably. I'm not going to have anything in the discard for them to actually work with, so don't want to Hysteria that. Reap, Misery Exploit, will Hysteria. Again, 2 Amber, and I just lose. Because my Mimicry is gone, and I got nothing else. But they have so many just creatures in hand. But I'm sure they probably drew a couple on that turn. Fangs. Baronon's got an Amber Pip on it. Bummer. Yeah, they were able to keep me off for just one too long. Of course. Good game. Yeah. So that's one of the tough things with this deck is like it can forge past Infernus. It doesn't worry about it in that sense, but the one mimicry is so vital in certain matchups like this that I probably should have played around more, keeping that mimicry from getting hit. But it's tough. So I really wanted to get into check there. And I think wonder if I waited one more turn, if that would have done it. Hard to know on that one, but it is something to watch for. Maybe try to play around that harder next time we see Infernus and see if we can kind of. I mean, I've tried to play around it. That first whole playthrough of the deck, I didn't. I didn't throw it down just because I was worried about that. But maybe I should have played it one turn earlier before I cycled. I don't know. I'd have to go back and look, but let's do one more. Still having fun with Xiang. No one's told me how to pronounce it yet. I'm sure someone knows better than me how you pronounce that, but and we got Amartaka. So let's lose again. Well, maybe not if they're not playing MM. Worlds Collide. We've got EE could be rough. Double Kirby. Again, that's where the Onyx Knight gets so valuable. One Infernus isn't huge, but they do have the Bornet's Touch and an Exhume. Could be rough, but let's see if we can build a board. Again, just going to start with that Eureka because it's fantastic. Probably going to just leave that guy in there. Probably going to hit, so they got the Bornet's Touch, probably going to hit the Glimmer or the Director here. Based on the deck list alone, if I was them, I'd probably hit Glimmer, which is still a very good hit for them, but it's probably not what they were hoping for, which was the Mimicry. They go for the Director, though, which still hurts. Okay, so those are all waiting for my Onyx Knight. I think we'll go ahead and just go Logos here. Don't want to play two creatures because those Malisons can start stealing from me. Yeah, this is going to be a very different game until I get rid of those. Let's take the Binding Irons, I think. This can buy me a turn along with the Nature's Call, but ooh, Tachyon Pulse hurts. Definitely need to find the Onyx Knight here. So we're going to go Untamed. We're going to discard the Darna. Persistence Hunting for Star Alliance, but I am going to bounce this anyways. We're going to bounce those three. Is that right? Yeah, I got another Igor. Oh, no, I clicked that wrong. That's unfortunate. We did actually get the Keyforge though, which I was hardly even paying attention to that. That's pretty huge here. Snaglet is rough though. I think we're okay if they go back into this here. Let's grab the Yerk. And then we're just going to discard the mechanic. Kind of the same situation we were in before, where we don't give them 2 creatures to fight. We only have 1, so even if they use the Snaglet ability, not super worried about it, but they're going to Star Alliance, going to do some killing. Get the moon back down, and Hysteria should... Or they play stealth mode, and we don't get the Hysteria. I mean, we're still looking for that Onyx Knight, so... Exhume looks pretty good, though. Exhume. Just another Igor to try and hit Onyx Knight. We don't get stealth moded again. We only have 1, right? Yeah. And they forged their first key now, but we didn't make much more amber on that, so they don't have a whole lot to steal still. Man, I really need to find that Onyx Knight fast. Even just the Reaps here is going to be a lot more amber than we want to deal with. Oh, and fought with the Lilithal, which is great because that gives us more legs with the Misery exploit. Okay, so we're going to go Dis. We're going to gain 2 there. Let's Exhume first for the Igor. And there's our Onyx Knight. Beautiful. Play that. We'll play Onyx Knight, and then we will Hysteria. Yerk will discard that, and then we'll drop the Onyx Knight back down. And then we have the Exhume for a second Onyx Knight if they kill it. Oh, this is actually, I don't know why this game is stressing me out. I feel like it's chessy. It's a good game. I like what's happening here. So they just played 4 Logos, which means they have kind of a messy hand again. Exhuming the Onyx Knight actually gets me a kill on these 2, which feels alright. What do I... Of course, I could Wild Wormhole into the Exhume, or into the Hysteria, but I think I'm fine just going Dis here. We're gonna fight Sanitation Engineer, and we'll go ahead and just Exhume him right away. Kill those guys, we'll Reap, and then just drop these 2. Again, just going to check. We know they have the Graft. We don't know if they have it in hand, but made it through our deck already, so unfortunately we're down by 1 short of cycling there, so we might see Infernus or EE would both be pretty painful here. The hope is we kind of slowed them down with some of that bouncing. So they're going Star Alliance. Can they stop me in Star Alliance? I don't think they can. All right, that is huge to get that key through there. What do we Glimmer here? Anything we want, basically. Stealth mode. Sorry, if I take the Mimicry, we could stealth mode. Feels pretty good. I just gotta make sure I actually cycle. Do I just use my disc creatures? I don't think they have much for board clear. Oh. And they just give it up. Okay. Well. I'll take it. Yeah, I think we kind of hit the right combo of cards there. Finding that Onyx Knight right when we did was pretty huge, and then getting to recycle it. So honestly, like, again, one of the things that I just haven't even thought about too much until I've started playing this deck more is how valuable this card is, because I'm not destroying many creatures otherwise. But it does seem like a lot of the problem creatures we're running into have been odd powers. So things like Candle Unit, Eddy are really, really big ones. Infernus is not, and that's one of the things playing around Infernus with this deck is a little bit tricky. But I mean, like, even just that, getting to cycle through the deck in like 4 or 5 turns, it's just a blast. It's so much fun. What time is it? Been going for 45 minutes. I think it's going to take a long time to get to 100 plays. I'm not going to record all the 100 plays with this deck. Let's go ahead and get my win on there. Let's do one more. The whole point of this is to kind of really just get a lot of matchups. So that one, I think Worlds Collide, outside of a lot of Infernus, Worlds Collide is a pretty good matchup for this deck. Oh, hey, we played this guy earlier, and they had a triple Fangtooth deck. We'll see. They were also a little bit, could just be an internet thing, just a little bit slower playing stuff. Okay, so yeah, it's the triple Fangtooth again. So that one's definitely gonna hurt. Especially with me needing to generate amber with creatures. Let's... Double Igor is pretty tough to pass up. That's fine. Sting is also a problem, unless they play their Reclaimed and we can actually Mimicry it. We'll see if they catch that line. Play that. Get this guy out. Oof. Looks like it's a Yerk. It's okay. We can just Hysteria it or Exhume it. I think this could build a board that Fangtooth doesn't do enough to, but we'll see. Hysterias will definitely hurt their deck. It'll slow it down a lot if they're playing a decent amount of creatures. They won't be able to gain Amber as fast to get past the kind of heavy creature control. They're at 4 with a Fandangle, which is never good. So... Dang. Did I let him have that? I don't think I can. Let's go Hysteria. We're going to do kind of a weird play here. So we Hysteria, we'll Yerk to discard the Igor and then Exhume the Igor on the left to grab. Another Exhume doesn't do a whole lot for me here. I guess we can grab the Mechanic. Let's grab the Mechanic. Mechanic helps slightly against the Sting if we're not able to blow that up before we Forge, but I mean, just a 4 Amber Burst like that against this deck would hurt so much. We do have an answer for the Fandangle now, though, if that comes back down. Actually, a couple answers. Let's see. All right, first Fangtooth is down. Still no Reclaimed is scary. Can protect my creatures with the Darna. And we need to cover this up so that they're not forging on 5 here. Oh, they can't because of the Sting. So if we're not going to be able to blow up the Sting, we only want to forge for 5. Man, I don't like this. And they do have Keyfrog too. So, I mean, most likely what happens is they steal with the Sting here. And then Keyfrog for like 2 keys. Because I can't do anything against it. Play a bow for nothing. Francis. They do steal with Rad Penny, but it doesn't matter because we'll still forge with the Titan. And this is not a board we want Hysteria either, so just going to go Logos here. But I mean, them at 11 Amber already is pretty tough to come back from, and there's not much in the discard, even if I were to find. Let's see. Do I Rocket Boots first, or do I Wild Wormhole? There's no Hysteria left for me to hit. So I cannot Hysteria. Binding Iron just fine. Let's just start racing. So we'll Reap, and then go ahead and fight. This will set up Darna later on. But, I mean, we're in so much trouble. Shouldn't have played one more game. I knew it. This is what happens. So they go back into Untamed. Probably see that Fandangle for a 3rd time. Have the answer to it now, unless they have a way to buff it up. I don't love Hysteriaing this board. And there's the Keyfrog to give themselves that first key, even with the Sting down, so... Oh, and they're still at 5 because of this stupid thing. Dang it. Should have thought of that. Their disc does have ways to recur that Keyfrog, so... we are in trouble. No Mimicry yet. There's not really much to regrowth here. I don't want to bounce it again. But I might have to. Or I could just go Dis. Doesn't seem great, but I'm tired of dealing with this Fandangle. Can get one of those back with the Glimmer if we need it, but I'm not really sure what a winning line looks like against this deck, especially like if he just keeps the Sting down the whole game and is able to get the Frog back a couple more times. So I really need them to discard that Reclaimed to hit something here. Because they got Grim Reminder and Stirring Grave to get the Keyfrog back. Okay, just gateways. Steal one. Yeah, Grim Reminder for the Keyfrog. So what I can do is play creatures that are smaller than their Keyfrog. Would they purge? Igor. That's a bummer. Oh, let's go Untamed. Yeah. Just really not sure what my winning lines look like here. Go ahead and grab an Igor with this one. Doing this just so they have ways to kill themselves, since that's kind of a need with this deck sometimes. Cutthroat is gone too, so unfortunately we're not going to be able to push him above 8 and steal. Do they have 2 Fandangles? Oh, no, they Grim Remindered for all of it. Of course, we hit the Igor. And what do they probably play here? Let's go. No, if they go shadows. We'll call shadows. All right, we found the mimicry. Does the mimicry help us? I don't think so. If they haven't discarded that reclaimed, then there's not much I can do. And at this point, I don't think I actually want to blow up the Sting with the reclaimed. Because that just lets them forge naturally. So I call in shadows, so they're going to do some stealing or capturing with old Bruno. Yeah. Brad Penny, which I guess can just fight to die so that this still blows up. Yeah. Good news is they're not getting more of my amber off the Keyfrog, but there's no reason for them to not pop the Sting here. But they don't, so now they have to be able to get the Keyfrog play off once more. So what does that mean for us? We have 0 draw, which is really unfortunate. And what's in their discard? Nothing helpful. Grim Reminder for Logos. Be pretty funny, but I don't know if it would really help me much. None of these even get me to check, actually, unless I can kill this. Which I don't think I can. So I need to kill the Fandangle instead. Yeah, this feels pretty rough. But let's go ahead and grab my Logos since they only have or I only had one other Logos creature in my archives or in my discard. So that play was pointless. Oh, I should have looked at this. They also have the Miasma Bomb, so there's not a whole lot we're doing here. If they don't get to check, I can do a little bit. Probably kill the Director. Kill the Penpack. Okay. I did Stir Engrave the Keyfrog, so do we have any way of getting around that? I don't think we do. I guess they have to get to 6 amber. Do that. We'll do Igor. Didn't even find. The poke. I wanted to poke this guy for the extra amber, but it's just not going to matter. I might forge this key, but I don't think we're going to win this. Yeah, they have so many ways they can just reclaim something. They can play more pips with other Fangtooths. Cannot reap with the Niffleape, but that's pretty small constellation. There's no way to regrowth the, or we didn't find Glimmer, which is one of the only things that can actually make the Fangtooth miss, but not when there's two. So I mean, it's a nasty deck. I can see why they like it. It's not the most fun to play against, especially in casual, which is where I played against it first. But I don't begrudge them practicing it because it's they only had one Amber, but it does not matter because we just gave them all the Amber. Yeah. And no Hysteria. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Nothing. I don't think there's anything we can do about it. Go Untamed. No. Play regrowth for Darna. We're just going to burst up here because we can actually do some fun stuff with the Darna. Right, play that on the right, and then grab Pen Packet. But again, the one Keyfrog. Just going to do it here. So, I mean, could have been less close. We actually got the check at 6. But yeah, let's just play Keyfrog, win. Good game. Yeah, it's a nasty deck. Just a bummer we never saw that reclaimed. That could have done a lot for us. We had it again, but yeah. So artifacts definitely one of the other bigger weaknesses of this deck. It doesn't have artifact control again, so it relies on the mimicry to kind of deal with that kind of stuff. But most artifact decks get not too difficult to kind of clunk up their hands with a lot of this stuff. So, but I mean, like the Keyfrog Fangtooth with so many ways to recur the Keyfrog, there's just not much I could do there. So that's how it goes. But still, some fun games. A couple wins, couple losses here. So we're kind of staying around where we were. Good stuff, though. I'm enjoying it. I think I did some better things on some of those plays. It's still like I want to get fast with this deck because it's very easy for me to sit through and think through the so many options you have with like the recursion and everything, and I want to just be faster at making those decisions so that I'm not kind of, I don't know, trolling, griefing my opponents or whatever, just sitting there for like multiple turns, like, okay, I could do these 7 different things, or I could do these 7 different things. I want to just know, here's the winning lines that this deck does. These are all the other options I have, but this is what's actually going to win. And I think we're getting there, but still lots of fun. We got to see a very small Darna play right at the end there, but you can see with those regrowths and stuff, if you get 3 creatures damaged, it can do tons of Amber. And even on that last game, we got to check, and they were doing decent stuff and getting basically all the Amber they got that game was from us. Stupid Sting. Not a card this deck wants to see, but all things considered, we did okay. We were not able to mimic like a key cheat or anything, which is one of the tough things to just, again, looking at the different sets and matchups. What sets actually have creature key cheats versus action key cheats, because that's the other thing. If you're not seeing the Amber control you want with mimicry, you can see a key cheat that you want with mimicry and copy that. So like everything Coda, AOA, and Worlds Collide both have a lot of action key cheats. Mass Mutation has not a ton of key cheats in general, but it has Obsidian Forge, which is not an action. It has Keyfrog, which is not an action, and it has which one is it? Whichever sin it is. Is it Desire? That's the +10 and then Reap. Yeah. That key cheat too. So a little bit less options against Mass Mutation, which I would say like some Mass Mutation decks this is really good, well matched up against. Some it's really poorly matched up against. Just really depends on the style. But Mass Mutation likes, on average, likes to play a lot of creatures, and this is very good at dealing with those creatures and clunking up hands, unless those creatures all have like tons of pips or are Infernus. Then it's not so great. But yeah, even though we lost that one, I'm pretty happy with what we were able to do. Kind of did as best as I think we could have. So, we'll see if we see that again at some point. But yeah, love this deck. I love playing it. Love the Hysteria chaining, and just, I know it's probably not the most fun for some of my opponents to get Hysteria like 3 turns in a game when you have like that one poor opponent had like 12 creatures on the board. That's how this deck wins. It's just what it's trying to do. It's gonna bounce stuff. Did miss a few of my own bouncing my own things there, but I think knowing when to bounce or recur Igors is one of the most difficult things, because it's so easy to also gum up your own hand with this deck. That I just really want to be careful of that, and especially with some of these disc creatures. So cool. Well, thanks so much for watching, guys. Again, appreciate any support I get is great. I know I'm not doing anything super special. I just love playing this game and love sharing that with people, and love this deck and getting to play it. So enjoyed doing that, and thank you for watching it. Be on the lookout. Again, might do more tournament style stuff soon. Just depends on what's coming up in the next couple weekends. I really enjoy recording those too. It's a lot of fun. So thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next time.